What's going on with y'all today, man? I got another video. It's Chris. I'm back again. Another video for my small audience, man. Right now we small, but I'm gonna keep putting these things out here, man. Uh, so I went to work last week. I think we got back the second, right? So I came into work on the second, or maybe this was like the third or fourth, third or something like that. Whatever the case. Anyways, so I just started working at this spot, right? At the Mariposa School District. I just started working there, and so every month, I guess, we have these papers. Not this one in particular, but basically, it's different articles. It's just articles. This one talks about like healthy habits for winter driving. Um, Another one is another topic, and it's the topic I want to talk about tonight. Too much TV is bad for a child's development. This just happened to be on the table, right? Most people, and what we have to do is like read through it and then sign it. Basically, just put our signature on it to let the principal or whoever, the director, I don't know, whoever the higher ups are, to let them know that we read it and that we agree, whatever the case, right? So this is something that's mandated. So most of the time, people just sign it. They don't read through it, but I like to read stuff. So, and I'm thankful that I did because I can make a video about this. It's important. So this is the article. Too much TV is bad, or too much TV is bad for a child's development. So I want to read this and then explain it, obviously. Okay, so it says everybody knows that watching too much TV is bad for kids, but a study in the archives of pediatrics and adolescent medicine found that just being near a television that's on, even if you're not paying attention to it, hurts a child's skills in language, reading, and problem solving. Here are the details. Researchers from the University of Pennsylvania surveyed thousands of households with young children about, about their TV use. In addition to logging how much time they spent watching TV, the survey specifically asked if the family left the TV on while they were doing other things. The result. So this is like, even if you're not really paying attention to the TV, you doing other things. You probably washing dishes. You probably, I don't know, cleaning, vacuuming. Um, what else can you be doing in the house, man? Washing the walls or something, whatever you doing, right? Even if you're talking on the phone or something like that, you got the TV on. A lot of people leave the TV on like 24/7, right? They don't turn it off. So this is what this is talking about so far. And like I said, they did a study on it, or not a study, but yeah, researchers from the University of Pennsylvania surveyed thousands of households with young children about their TV use. Okay, so the result, it says 1 in 3 families leave the TV on all day. On average, children were exposed to background TV for nearly 4 hours a day. That's on top of the time they spent actually working or watching programs or playing on the computer. So this is 4 hours a day that they spent subconsciously basically taking in whatever the TV is feeding out, because the TV is just on. They're not even paying attention to it, but it's just on. Now this is 4 hours on average, on top of the actual time that they spent on TV looking at their favorite programs. If your kids like SpongeBob, if your kids like I don't know what cartoons are there now. I really don't know. I have no idea. I know a lot of anime is like popular right now. Movies, whatever it may be. This is on top of that time. So when the TV is just on, period, um, it says four. I think they say 4 hours of background noise or something like that. So it says, yeah, background, yeah, exposed to background TV for 4 hours on top of the time that they watch TV watching their favorite program. So it could be, say they watch a couple movies. That's 8 hours total, a couple hours a movie, right? Whatever these shows, I don't know these shows nowadays, but I don't watch TV, so I really don't know. But um, it says, in all that background TV time is harmful. Studies show that children with high exposure to background TV score lower on cognitive tests and have a harder time learning to read. So these are tests, cognitive tests. These are tests that gauge how that gauge basically how you're receiving the information that you're given, right? Um, how alert you are, you know. Um, Let me see where we at. And have a harder time learning to read. Right. That's compared to kids living in households where the TV isn't used as sound wallpaper. Researchers, sound wallpaper, y'all should know what that means, right? It's just basically having a TV on and it's just playing up against the walls, you know? It's just noises, the noise of the TV is just bouncing from wall to wall. It's just on for no reason, basically. Um, Researchers believe it's because the constant drone of the TV interrupts the mental processes that help the language development. It also reduces the child's overall vocabulary. That's because background TV distracts parents, which means they spend less time interacting with their kids. And since they don't talk as much when the TV is on, their kids have less exposure to new words. So, um, because TVs are on, not just TVs, because we're on our phones more than anything now, right? Your phone, maybe you're on YouTube a lot, maybe you're on Pinterest a lot, whatever the case. This is taking time away from you being able to interact with your child, being able to speak new words to your child. So their brain isn't getting stimulated enough. So, and learning new words from you reading to them, from you talking to them, asking about their day, seeing, what they got going on in their lives. We rather just come home because a lot of parents are just stressed out nowadays. A lot of parents are overworking themselves. A lot of parents are just trying to do a lot of things to stay away from home and stay away from their responsibilities at home. Once they get home with their kids, the kids need to eat. Their kids need their homework done. They need help with their homework. Uh, a lot of different things are going on at home. You know what I'm saying? And then you either tell your kids to go outside for summertime, or if it's wintertime, you putting TVs in front of their face, or you tell them to go get the phone. Because you stressed out and because you got issues in your life, so in your personal life, so you don't really want to deal with your kids nowadays. And I've been in that, so I understand where y'all coming from. I've been in that, and obviously that wasn't like a constant a thing in my life. That wasn't like a constant reoccurring action in my life. You know what I'm saying? I've done it before, though, is what I'm saying. So I understand. I've done it before. I catch myself, though, like, man, I got to put this down. You know what I'm saying? I notice when I'm not giving my kids enough attention. I notice after a few days or so, and I thank God for it. I notice after a couple of days or so, if I'm shooing my kids off and I'm telling them to go grab the tablet more than I usually do, because I really don't do that much. Me and my wife don't. We give them some time. We give them a couple hours or so after they complete a task, after my son read for like 30 minutes to an hour, after my daughter writes her name or uh, whatever the case, writes some sentences, or she reads for 10 minutes or so, something like that. You got to complete a task first, usually in my house, before you get on any kind of tablet or a phone or something like that. My kids don't have their own phone. My younger ones don't have their own phones. My older ones, well, my son, he lost his, but regardless, they can't spend all day on their phones. That's just not what we do in our house. Y'all got an hour, 2 hours tops, man. And then after that, put that phone down, go outside, let's go shoot around, play some basketball. We play a lot of card games. There's things that you can be doing, interacting with your kids, even when you're playing card games. After dinner, after lunch or something. Well, usually, dinner, everybody home at that time. So you play some card games, man. Buy Monopoly or something. Teach your kids about money. Teach your kids about investments and buying property. Even if you can do it with a Monopoly game, whatever the case. Even if you can watch something on TV, something educational, and you can pause it between different points that you want to make and stuff like that. Watch interviews. I don't know, whatever y'all watching, man. There should always be teaching moments, lessons learned from it. You should always be telling your kids something, speaking to your kids, and stimulating their minds so they can learn new words, so they can understand life a little bit better, have a better understanding of just life, period. Buy books. I got a bookshelf back here. And I ain't gonna lie, I haven't read all these books. You got dictionaries, you got cookbooks, you got A lot of spiritual books, Bible-based books. I don't want to say spiritual. I don't want somebody thinking I'm like in witchcraft or nothing like that, or Bible-based books. But there always is a time to be teaching. Um, put down the TVs, or put down the tablets and the phones. Stop cutting the TVs on so much, man, because it's just damaging your kids. Even these shows. I don't know if y'all ever watch these shows that your kids be watching. I had to cut my TV off a couple times and tell my kids not to watch certain things because I come upstairs and they'll be looking at something that I never seen before, and I never told them they can watch. But because I didn't tell them they can't watch it, they'll be watching it, and I'll have to sit down sometimes and look at what they're watching. It could be it can be a lot of brainwashing in there, a lot of like sexual undertones and innuendos and little things like that that kids don't really catch on to. They don't really understand, but subconsciously this is playing in their minds. And now your little girl is talking, is trying to be more sexual, because this stuff is infiltrating her mind, her consciousness, right? Uh, and this is with all movies, man. This is with Disney, big time with Disney. Uh, Walt Disney was actually a 33rd degree Mason. Go look it up. There's a lot of subliminals in them movies, in them Disney movies. That stuff is not innocent. That stuff is not, a lot of the movies, man. I just gotta watch what our kids watching. Stop sending your kid off. If you love them, if you care anything about their well-being, stop sending your kids off to just go look at a movie or just go grab a phone and be on it for hours upon hours upon hours. Even video games. That's not healthy for a child's mind when they're trying to learn how to read and how to understand mathematics or science, and they're coming to school the next day after just going to sleep from being on a device for 5 hours or something. If you playing video games, you got that game in your mind when you at school. You're not really thinking about, what 15 divided by 319 is. Like, a remainder. What was? Oh yeah, I remember you told us about that. Like, they forget everything. They are thinking about like Fortnite, or they thinking about all kind of stuff, man. So it's a child's it's to a child's detriment, but it's a parent's responsibility, man, to um, to school your child, to teach your child, to train your children, to parent your children. That is a serious deal. Parents do not want to parent anymore because they're getting lazy. They're getting more and more stressed out. They're getting more and more, um, making more and more bad decisions in men, women making worse decisions than men making worse decisions than women. So now you got a whole bunch of baby mama drama going on in your life. You got a whole bunch of girlfriend drama, boyfriend drama going on in your life. You go home, you stressed out from work, from relationships, from this or that, whatever gossip, whatever issues and drama you got in your life. You get home with these kids, you're not raising them no more. You don't really care about these kids that much. They come in your room to say, hi, mom, hi, dad. You tell them to get out. Not right now. Don't got no time for that. I don't know how to do your homework. This, that. It's just one and after another, after another. And then you wonder when your kids get 15, 14 years old, your daughter in the streets uh, doing whatever. Your son's out in the streets with pistols in their hand, fighting a lot. They're getting in a lot of trouble. It's because of the stuff that they're watching. When you go send them off into their room, when you go tell them to, go find something to do, they find them what to do on them phones. Y'all always buy your kids phones. So if you don't have a parental control on your phone, then who knows what they watching? They can be looking at anything. So just be more mindful, parents, fathers. Be more mindful, man. Be home. Stay out the streets. If you don't live with your kids, try to get custody. Try to just see your kids more often. If not, nothing else, call your kids, FaceTime, call your children, ask them questions that you never was asked before. Talk to your kids, man. Try to understand them and get in their minds. Even if it's not comfortable for you to do it, do it. Signing out, man.